seems only appropriate that we make a joint speech tonight. As I pondered upon what to speak about today, many things were unclear. However, with a little prod from my father, the thoughts in my head slowly began to take shape. Yes, we are the first graduating class of Signal Mountain High School. And yes, it is a much bigger deal than we as a student body recognize. And although it is meaningful in itself that we are the first class, there is still the question at hand. Are we going to make an impact on the world, or are we going to fade? It is after asking this question when the genius, Henry Ford, came to mind. He started something new, but he did it with a purpose. He was the first, but he did something that would change the world. He wasn't satisfied with just being the first. Henry's devotion should be a foundation for our class as a whole. Our senior class has great potential, and we have an exciting future ahead of us. However, it is our job to make sure that we make an impact and make people remember us for the things that we did and will do, not for the title given to us for joining a new school at the opportune time. There will be challenges, there is no doubt, which is why I've chosen this quote from Mr. Ford himself. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. Everything new is tough, and initially, it often seems as though you're running in place. However, as Henry Ford pointed out, everything, even the amazing feat of flight, begins with obstacles, not instant success. We need to overcome these obstacles, as many as there may be, and continue to do so until our goal is reached. We set the standard. We serve as role models for all future generations. It is time for us to realize our potential and take full advantage of all of our resources. Once this is fulfilled, the sky is the limit. We should always remember another famous Ford quote: if you think you can do something, or think that you can't do something, you're right.
Although graduation is a time for students to look ahead and embark on life's unknown journey, we cannot forget about the past events that took place to get us here. 2 years ago, despite the certainty of a small class, we came together to form the class of 2010. Few expected us to come to a new school as juniors, but we did. We came together to set the standards for all who graduate behind us, as the eyes of the community watched and wondered what type of mark we would leave behind. Henry Ford also said, "Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success." Coming together was just the beginning. Unlike other graduating classes, every senior name is known by every other here. As juniors, we had to stay together to allow ourselves to set the bar high, not only for those that follow, but for each other. We persevered through the confusing problems of a brand new school, and even as the various freedoms were taken away from us, although their removal was partly our fault, we kept together as one student body. Yet the one thing that seemed to frustrate each of us individually, the senior project, failed to cause a split within our classmates. In fact, it caused a joint hatred toward procrastination and lack of organization. As we took on titles such as team captains, club presidents, and even class schedule guinea pigs, we did not let our titles separate us from one another. Instead, we let them work together to leave behind a shoe that would be difficult to fill. I've heard people doubt the accomplishments of a class consisting of only 63 students, but we use those doubts as fuel and achieve things that no one thought was possible. We graduated holding over $1 million worth of scholarship money, a state championship, and a legacy that will be forever remembered. We came together, we stuck it out together, and worked together to reach the level of success we are at today. Today we are 63 individuals graduating, but we know that this success was based on all of us being together as one.
As our class came together as one and pushed one another to success, it is important for Tim and I to recognize the benefits of friendship. As Mr. Ford once said, my best friend is the one who brings out the best in me. Tim and I met at camp going into 6th grade. The moment we met, it seemed as though we had known each other our entire lives.
Throughout the years that we were in school together, we pushed each other not only academically, but spiritually, to the point that we both achieved things neither of us thought was possible. After 2 years of attending different high schools, we didn't allow our friendship to fade. In fact, we became inseparable when we came back to Signal.
Distance is an inhibitor, yes. However, it is not a prohibitor. Although our time spent together during these 2 years drastically decreased, when we returned to Signal, we pick up directly where we had left off without hesitation. Look around you. These are the people who got you to where you are today. They helped create the person you look at in the mirror every morning. Don't let graduation and college bring it close to the friendships you formed these past few years.
You can't do everything on your own, even if you're like Ben and think you can. It is vital for a complete class that is so close to continue to push each other as Ben and I and as many of you have. This is not the end, it's only the beginning. Regardless of what we do from here, we will always be Signal Mountain High School's class of 2010, the first graduating class. Thank you.